I thought it was a really good take on the zombie genre until like towards the end, and then he gets really stupid, and it's like, what? Because like there's this one, because like, okay, so there's like a zombie in the elevator. He ends up like being kind of friends with it because he just is so alone. And then like at the end of the movie, he lets it out, and it like follows him up the stairs, and it's like, oh, okay, classic. He's gonna like have to, no, it stops and stares at him, and then like looks at the open door he opens for, and like just wanders in there for no reason. And it's like, what? Do the rules not matter anymore? Well, and then like the smoke alarms go off, and they like start bashing the door down, and he fucking like walks down the stairs and be like, what's bashing the door down? Even though he knows like they're attracted to sound. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So like,
I guess also though, like,
great.
I don't like seeing, like, I was particularly like, I didn't like seeing zombies that weren't super like lifelike, because it was like after I watched Train to Busan the first time about 2 weeks ago, and then I watched this, and I could see like these zombies like kind of faking it, and I was like, these are faker zombies, like this is taking me out of it, and like I guess that's not fair, but still.
The gore's pretty good. We get to the point where like he's like cleaning the floor, and someone like offs himself the floor below him. Like they do like really good makeup for like gore, like when people die, but the zombies do look like shit. You're right.
Well,
give another chance. That's all I'm saying. Like, watch like a little bit past the black family trying to leave and getting fucking eaten alive. Okay. Fuck, that was sad, dude. The kid.
That's kind of funny that we were both, because I literally tried it out like 2 or 3 days ago. The Night Eats the World. Like, it's the one where the cover, like, it's all red, right? Like,
it's a cool opening too. It's like,
yeah, because it's like a nightmarish opening.
Edge.
Yeah, the opening actually got my hopes up a little bit. I just didn't. I don't know. I wasn't really in the mood for like an indie zombie movie with like
very slow. It's very like just this character going insane, but it's fun. It's fun just watching him go nuts. You know who else was going fucking nuts?
Who?
All of us watching Selfie Dad, I'm sure.
Are we live? Are we doing it?
Did Brandon know something that we don't?
I don't know. Are we live?
Do you know something that we don't, Brant?
Listen, this whole charade, it's coming crashing down like my reality after watching Selfie Dad currently this is like the 10th time right now. It's so weird. It's like at this point it's just interpretive dance for me, but like, why is everyone such a bad actor?
Because
in like all
bad
these
actor
Christian
in a
movies.
moral sense, bad actor in a moral sense, or bad actor in a theatrical sense?
The main actor is like genuinely terrible. Like
I think Ben Marcus had some heart behind his. He could have been good if this was an actually funny or good movie.
Some parts, like actually, like if even though it's like not, it's actually not a good example of his comedy, but like even his opening YouTube thing, he has some like kind of comedic chops to himself.
Yeah,
but, like,
no, and he uses his body.
That breakfast scene where he's talking about with his daughter, and he's like, she has $48 shoes. Well, why? Or no, like, or he was like, shoes
in the 80s that was like $1.
Shoes used to cost 48 cents in the 1800s. She can get her own shoes, or something like that. Like, he's trying to do this like grumpy dad kind of thing, and it just comes off like really bad. And
remember that it's badly written, and I think that it's not a leap to say that this is like fucking terribly directed.
I thought that was a good joke personally.
Really?
For a dad, I thought that was a clever one because
that was the thing.
Because you forgot what it is.
Dad joke like that, he didn't pull it off. $48. Well. You have to be smiling when you're doing it.
Wait. Let Brand tell this joke. Let Brand tell the joke, cats.
Because you didn't tell the joke right at all. It's $48 for shoes. They're from like the 90s. They're supposed to be from the 80s. Those were 80 cents back then. Give her $1 and let her keep the change. I was like, that's a good one. That's solid.
Yeah, no, it was super, and his delivery was very corny.
No, his delivery was
He's such a shitty, grumpy dad. He's just like, I don't want to fix the toilet. I don't want to help my son. And it's like, I get why his wife is just losing her mind. Like, stop. Just be an adult.
There was a scene in this movie that I just want to like mention to you. Like I hadn't really thought about before, but it's very strange that he gets absolutely no consequences at any point in this movie for filming a scene in his office next to posters that say Rosie's Roses, where he's fucking complaining about Rosie's Roses.
And they're like, we've seen your videos.
And that one goes viral, I believe.
Yeah, and multiple times he kind of gets in trouble for like his boss or like people like that he works with seeing his videos. They kind of say like, oh, you were making a video, like, oh, that you were doing that instead of working on this, but he never really has any repercussions from that. So
yeah, he's doing it at work.
Yeah,
he's doing it well, and also like that's all right. So this movie is about, it's basically fucking what's that movie that we watched with Andy Griffith, the Elia Kazan movie? Face in the Crowd. Fuck. It's basically fucking a Face in the Crowd with a fucking Selfie Dad with Jesus and fucking YouTube videos, because he just plugs himself out bottom. But there's this part, like the earliest part of his arc is his wife saying like, "Oh, you're just constantly making YouTube videos." And before that point,
it's so
we had one singular scene of him making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's like he's addicted, and it's like he's made like 2. What?
Yeah.
No, it's like I get he's like fucking off at work, but what?
No, it's like it should have started building from the moment that he was making the YouTube video while his daughter was at her concert or her play.
Yeah, really weird that they chose that to be like the end of Act 2.
Yeah, that was like the big betrayal. But it's like everything else was just kind of like he was just kind of like doing little YouTube videos like here and there. It wasn't a huge deal, but they really wanted to build it fast.
How about the random heart-to-heart drop on the pastor where he's like, anyways, my dad used to be big. He was going to the night show and his heart exploded. Quick comedy that day. And I was like, do you guys remember that? Like, whole
time? No, it was also, he was talking he was talking about like, wasn't he like hinting at like the fact that his dad like was getting pussy, and when his dad died,
like drinking
pussy, that was what made him swear off pussy.
And then he has and then he had to deal with all of his dad's like ex-lovers that were saying that like they had his brothers, and it was just too much to deal with. And then his dad, like that led to his mother committing suicide, and that was why he swore off comedy.
Yeah, because he told her. Yeah, he told his mom, it was like, you should know dad was fucking other women, and then she killed herself.
Which would have made more sense telling your mom that your dad like has fostered like multiple children during his career, like that you don't know about, is a very Sigma move, I guess. You know, like he like,
pretty based.
I just like why would you confide in your mother about that? Honestly, like that's just an odd thing. Like why did he do that?
That's not her problem, man. She's on fucking death's door.
Yeah, it's or just like it's like like the decision making there, it's like suspect to begin with anyway. But
that's like the whole thing with this. All the movie is like everyone's decision making is just retarded. Like why is Rosie such an insane cunt?
Before we move away from it, it honestly would have made a lot more sense if his mother would have killed herself because of his comedy. Like if she just heard some jokes. And then he quit comedy. It would made a
like the opening was like Ben Marcus, and then like you just hear like a shotgun.
Or sorry, Brant, I was cutting you off. But I was gonna say like if he was making jokes about like how his dad was like fostering other kids, you know, like having like affairs with other women and stuff like that, because it was like his own therapy.
And my mom's in here, and she's just like,
and
he's over here.
He thinks it's like a private club that he's doing it at, and he lets it.
That would have been such a much funnier opening if he was just like, "Hey, and I want to like introduce my mom to the rest of the family." Like all like finds them all, like they come up on stage, and then she just like has a heart attack. That would be pretty good.
Oh God, I wasn't thinking that intense. I guess I was thinking more like if he was like, you know, when comics kind of start to slip and they start to talk about like personal shit on stage, like talking about like all his dad's personal shit on stage, and then his mom ends up seeing the video. You know, that would have been kind of interesting. But instead, he's just a bitch.
The way I was thinking about it was just like his jokes just fucking absolutely sucked. And she just fucking ganked herself right there in the audience.
She just you it's the same opening. You just hear a shotgun click at the end, and then we cut to him. It's just
And that
like,
was actually the only time that anybody in that show laughed, which was the really ironic thing about it.
Yeah, we never see him be like an actual comedian outside of these shitty fucking fix some videos.
We see him. Everybody thinks he's very funny at the barber shop. They because he said, he says, "I'm black.
Barbershop
I'm
scene
black
was the
and
worst
you're white."
fucking scene in the whole goddamn.
No,
yeah, because that guy walks.
a good one.
Okay, so this is the barbershop scene. A guy walks in and he goes, "Hey, fellas, I sit down to pee. You guys think that's weird?" And they go, "Yeah, that's weird." And everyone goes, "Yeah, that's weird."
And then they're all laughing.
Yeah, and then they all laugh.
He's like, "You know what else? I like black licorice too. Isn't that weird?"
Yeah.
And they all laugh. It's like,
then,
you're just saying that because I'm here.
And then,
you're funny, huh?
Yeah, exactly. He makes a racial joke. So everybody laughs. And then at the end of the scene, when he leaves, one guy says, "Well, I didn't even know he was black." Which negates the previous joke.
No,
like you can have either the first joke or the second joke. There was so much of that in this movie that bothered me.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any. What he didn't know he was black.
But he laughed at the licorice joke.
What does that mean though? Like he's obviously
no one likes black licorice.
No, but how do you not know that he's black? That's the thing. I don't understand.
Could be a good line. It could be a good line, just like in a classic, like over the top, like he's stupid, lol.
Or if you brought that character back later and he was like, or like if he like takes off the thing and he's got like all fucked up colors because he's colorblind.
That's a way to make it work too. But I'm glad that the barbershop did not.
Or he takes off his glasses and his eyes are all cross-eyed. Yeah. I didn't even know she was black. Yeah,
something like that. No, it's the barbershop has the best joke in it because it's a joke at the end where it's like, "Man, I just realized I'm in a white barbershop and I'm a bald black man." He gets up and leaves.
Yeah. Which is so it negates. Why is he in the barbershop then? I get that this movie isn't that absurd. Why did it get that strangely absurd in his exit of that scene?
They're like, all black comedians go to barbershops, obviously.
That's where the cool
is that what they were playing on, or were they playing on how black guys go to barbershops, but it was a white barbershop? And a white barbershop, like I guess we probably have those. I'm poor, so I just fucking go to like cost cutters, and it's just like some lady who tells me about fucking how the taxes are going to make it so the Jews are all fucking going to turn us all into vaccinated AIDS babies or whatever, you know. Because that's what hairdressers say, you know.
I'm going to cost cutters from now on. That sounds sick.
No, they're great. They all got like fucking haircutting ladies. Haircutting ladies in places like that, they got fucking opinions, man. They are all very interested in something.
Have them wax my dome and I'll talk about Ted Kaczynski.
Sure, yeah, no, you go in there and fucking start talking about Epstein.
I got a haircut in Helena one time, and I wasn't trying to like get this woman to like say anything edgy or anything. Like I wasn't trying to bait her, but just out of nowhere she goes and just tells me, she's like, "You know what? I thought I wasn't racist, but then I went to LA and you realize there's a difference between black people and niggars." You know, I'm not gonna say like the real word because I think that might get us banned off YouTube. But
is that all a direct quote?
Word for word. She just fucking tells me this because I told her I was from California, and I was like, yeah, or I was telling her came back from California because I had just done a year of college there, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of glad to be back. I didn't really like it there. And then she just breaks out with that statement, and I was like, okay, great, awesome.
All right.
And see, that's why you get your haircut at a cheap fucking cost cutters, motherfucker. Yeah. That's why you do it. Yeah, you should start getting your beard trimmed or something. Seriously, or go and get your head waxed. Great. That's what you should do.
Waxed and braid my beard.
Yeah,
I'll have them tell me about all their favorite conspiracies.
If you get that treatment, you know.
Dude, you could probably bang every chick in there, Brand. They would probably love your fucking cuddle bear / prepped for the fucking Nazi apocalypse. Just entire
Nazi apocalypse. No, what the fuck? Well, actually,
could be a Nazi apocalypse. You never know, man. I'm betting on whatever.
Still run by Nazis. You know what else is pretty much run by Nazis? The church. You know who made the fucking Selfie Dad movie? The church.
Oh, I was gonna
NASA's
say
run by Nazis. Wait,
NASA is run by Nazis.
Yeah.
Apparently.
like
Operation
currently to
Paperclip.
this day.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that. I don't know
Operation-
about to
come
this
on.
day.
You know what, I'd say so. If you're like gonna prestige the person in front of you, you probably hang out with them, and you're like, dang, these guys are
NASA's
pretty smart.
They're run by like weird occultist psychopaths. Basically, did you know that
Yeah,
the
Nazis.
person that The Exorcist was based on, like the child that in Georgetown that got like
Oh yeah, he's like the
exorcised?
director of the fucking NASA.
Yeah, he's the lead engineer for NASA now. So like they're a bunch of fucking
That's the
psychos.
Exorcist kid.
Yeah, no,
Right,
it's
it's
like,
so
Wait.
cool.
Well, NASA doesn't. Does NASA do anything nowadays other
Yeah.
than just like look at stars?
no, they do lots of stuff. They're evil, definitely.
What do they do? Are they like Are they trying to blow up the moon?
Well, no,
I
like
think
they're
They're
obvious.
setting forest fires in
They
national
could be doing
parks.
that. And they're also just
Uh,
obfuscating lots of research that would otherwise uncover things that are like actually true. Like, I was just reading the other day like a really great thread on Twitter about the Shroud of
Are
Turin.
you about to say COVID came from space? Are you
No,
about to say it was
It
space
was about
rocks?
the Shroud of Turin. You ever hear about that?
Yeah, I know about the Shroud of Turin.
And it
What's
was
up?
like
What
just
up?
about
What
how
up?
like like there's no real evidence against like that being not real. Like it's pretty much real. And NASA, like one of the people that was on the panel to like decide like whether or not that was a legitimate like study or anything like that, was this guy that was the head of the jet propulsion like sector in NASA, which you wouldn't think would have anything to do with the Shroud of Turin, like legitimacy, like research that was going on. This jet propulsion guy was like a crazy occultist that was interested in Satanism and shit like that. And like lo and behold, after that, there was no way that they were told that they were not allowed to like make any comparisons.
Submit it back to them anymore because like
Yeah, well, they
it was
couldn't
like
make
the fourth time
comparisons
they
to the Shroud
submitted
of
it.
Turin
Whatever.
compared to this other veil that had because it had the same exact dimensions as this veil that also had Jesus's face that was made by a painter. But the thing is that you couldn't match up those dimensions unless you had a photo negative film, because you couldn't see the.
No, it
what was on
wasn't.
the
It wasn't
current.
that. It was like the actual like veil covering. It was the Christ's like wrappings. His
They
tomb
say it
wrappings
looks,
had like
but that's
his
obviously
imprint
that's the
on
thing
it.
though. That's supposed to be like also organically created, but it looks obviously painted to me, like right.
It's well,
The
it's
Shroud-
and then
yeah,
like
yeah.
because they say that it's like a bright like hit of radiation like
No, not
stained
the
it
Shroud of
basically.
Turin. No, the other one, the
Oh
veil.
what? Oh the weird.
I haven't
yeah,
haven't seen the veil, but the Shroud of Turin
looks-
does look a little painted
like
to
a
me.
death.
Wait,
It's
but
not,
like,
though.
can I ask a question about this though? Like, is this
Wait, what?
carbon dating that you're talking about? Because like I had seen like back in my cringe ass atheist days, I remember like a lot of different people, like Richard Dawkins, saying like the fucking Shroud of Turin was like entirely discredited because of carbon dating.
It's 2,000
Well, that's
years
because
old.
all the. It's
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not a science
No,
guy.
they've
it's
agreed
older
on
than
that
that,
though.
no,
They've
it's-
agreed that it's
all the
2,000
parts that
years
they were
old.
like talking about were like the ones that were like the restorations from like the medieval period. So like
Yeah,
when it was being passed around as a relic, and it would eventually get like tattered, they would repair it while keeping the image intact and stuff. And those are the parts they took for dating. And it's like, oh, it's only from like the medieval periods. Gotcha, haha. It's like, well, yeah, you're taking like the frayed edges that are obviously different. Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Dawkins is a fucking cocksucker. He's just like Bill Mayer.
He's Reddit
He just wants to
before
feel
Reddit existed.
superior. He can't like imagine a being superior to himself in intellect and like omnipresence and omnipotence. It's like, oh, cancer exists, therefore no God. It's like, wow, you're such a child.
He is a very dogmatic atheist. Very, very dogmatic.
He's
Or is
yeah,
it
I don't
just-
know. He's just kind of slimy. He feels
It's
very
weird that we have
slimy.
Well,
like
what do
such
you do with
pro-Christian
slimy
beliefs,
cats?
but we
What
hate
do you
this
do with
movie.
slimy?
He just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like any of his writings culminate towards anything. There's nothing really worthwhile to anything that he says. It's just
Well,
kind of like,
you know who would agree with
What?
your slights of Richard Dawkins?
who?
The filmmakers behind Selfie Dad.
Selfie Dad.
They are very. Let's discuss the
Was that
Christian
why-
of Selfie Dad, because for those of
Yeah.
you viewers who are probably thousands of you who are concurrently watching and donating as we speak, we hear the phones going off.
Just stop bringing that shit up, you silly
What?
goose. Listen, here's the whole thing.
Has
Is
anybody
like Selfie
commented
Dad
with
does not
NGO
understand how the internet
Uncle?
works at all.
Wait,
Selfie
no,
Dad
we
should
gotta
be
talk
talking
about
the
Christ
shit we talk
first.
about.
We're not talking about the internet. We're on the subject of Christ.
That's what they should be doing. They should be talking about the same shit to us. Instead, Selfie Dad doesn't understand how like award shows work, or like post production, or like work environments. They
It's
understand like anything. Apparently, it's so weird. It's so weird to see Christians like think what a hip YouTube thing is.
Well, no,
Well,
because
like,
I
how
mean,
it's
have
like-
you been to like the?
It's
Because I
always
bet
like
the
that,
fucking
Brant.
YouTube fucking like red carpet things are just as gay ass as the one in the movie.
yeah.
Oh, it's so gay ass.
Well, and the weird thing is this movie's sometimes self-aware. Where like there's a woman in the movie that goes like, "I don't like Christian rock," and she kind of says that like it's supposed to be self-aware because it's like, yeah, no, Christian rock is awful. It's some of
Sucks.
the worst fucking music that was ever recorded. And
Wait,
There's,
did
like,
anybody
two good
anybody
bands.
respond though? Like, what did the because I kind of remember
no,
that. What
no,
did the character?
that moment is diffused immediately. Nobody responds to it. This woman just goes, "I don't really like Christian rock," and the mom of Selfie Dad goes, "Meh." And then like somebody shows up and diffuses the situation.
They make it like
Yeah.
very obvious, like the bad guys are on this side, and they do it by like those weird anti-Christian slights. It's
Yeah.
like when they're alone in the hotel room, isn't there like some weird Christian thing that gets brought up? Sorry, excuse me.
I mean, there's weird Christian things that get brought up at all moments of this film, like
Especially the end.
Well, I
Well,
was gonna
okay,
say with the Christian rock, like I mean, I know this is jumping ahead, but after she makes that comment that seems to be kind of self-aware, then it goes on to play this worst fucking Christian rock at the very end, where everybody goes, "I'm in, I'm in,"
Oh,
and it's just the
yeah.
worst fucking song. It's just
oh
awful.
yeah.
Like that entire sequence, like churned my stomach. Like I was gonna turn
That
it off.
part, like I was actually like I was willing to give this movie like a 6, but that threw me into like the 2s.
Yes,
man.
I know.
Oh,
That was some of
okay.
the worst shit.
So it's
you
the
know,
one.
honestly, like I want to get it out there. Like I genuinely wanted to like this movie so much
No.
because I
Nice.
like it's just so strange and like it actually tries to respect the family in it and the characters in it, and it's not necessarily predictable. It doesn't go down any of like the things I was hoping or wanting or like dreading it would do also, but it's a very weird fucking movie that fails on so many levels, and I think the biggest part of it is because it's I don't know, it just kind of like gives up on having a message other than God at a certain point. It felt like it wanted to like it was something more than just a gaudy gooby before a certain point, but then like they just kind of threw in the towel.
At some point, it's like this like struggle of one man and like refining his identity while also having a family, and like the inevitable backlash to him trying to change, and then it does just kind of turn into like, but God.
Yeah, and his wife, everybody in his family gets converted at the same time. Like his wife just happens to be getting converted by Selfie Dad's mom. As he is off going on these fucking excursions with the fucking priest character, which we haven't really talked about. Like, there's an assistant editor or another editor
the soon-to-be pastor
who is going to be a pastor.
Yeah.
And
who is
all right, what did you guys
aggressively
think
Christian.
of this guy?
I thought
He is
that guy was just
aggressively Christian.
that guy was thrown in there so that there could be some kind of like person in the story to tell you what to think, basically.
Yeah,
he really was the pastor or the Bible insert character.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, here's what we're gonna take out of this. Like, here's the moral lesson. Here's this, and it was just like he didn't have a character at all. Like he honestly showed up like an angel. The way he shows
had
up,
the voice, dude. He had such a. He was like, "Hey guys, like, do you really know?" Like,
yeah, he did. Yeah. No, he
Like he had that
seriously did.
it was just such like he had Creed voice. It was ugh.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked watching him. I thought
He wasn't actually bad.
I like
He
the
reminded me of
earnestness of
youth
this movie
pastors
is so good.
Yeah, I've had youth pastors that were like I've gone to a lot of like youth school in my time, and I've had youth pastors that were just like that guy,
Mhm.
and they're fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and obviously this guy more than likely like if he isn't like really religious, then he is like an actually very good actor. But I genuinely
I
think
think
like
most people
if
on
you
this
threw
were
that guy
religious.
at some interesting shit, he could be a great leading man. Like you could give him like a series, like a spin-off from The Walking Dead or something if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
if he's not religious, like kudos to him because every
Yeah.
time he came up, I felt uncomfortable, like how much he loved God.
Yeah, that's
Like if I
true.
was actually working with him, I'd be like,
If
dude,
there's
you
it,
need to stop.
I never believed that Selfie Dad. I never had the feeling of like conviction in God from Selfie Dad, but I actually you did kind of have that uncomfortable feeling of just like this guy is not gonna let me get away without believing in God or without saying I believe in God. Like this guy is fucking hardcore. He's gonna sit here and just read me Bible verses. You had
And
that
then
feeling.
it escalates to an interesting point when uh do you guys remember the scene where the pastor is like hanging out with the family and the daughter's there and there's like I don't remember exactly what happens in the
She's
dialogue, but there's
hitting
a
on him.
strange interaction where the father, where Selfie Dad himself said something kind of like, "You should bang her very far in the future, so just start grooming now."
No,
Does
no,
anyone
no.
else?
Wait, is that what he says? Because I thought what
He didn't
happened.
say that
No, no,
directly,
no,
but
no,
I
no.
just got that vibe so strongly.
No, no, no. That's not
How'd
what
you get that
happens.
vibe?
That's
What?
not what happens. See, what happens actually is she is hitting on past soon to be
I
pastor
remember
guy.
that, but there was more to it.
And then the dad notices it, and the dad says, "He's way too old for you, but you deserve to have a husband like this guy."
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And
Yeah.
that to me really read in a certain way of like, because they still kept looking at each other in that way, it really felt like here's one to groom to a certain extent. It really felt like
Maybe-
A
which
stranger
honestly
feel
like
I
if
don't
this
that
just
way.
know.
bring
Maybe
it let's bring it
projected
back
it.
like
No, if I'm
200
gonna
or
be
300
I think
years.
we should be charitable.
No,
If you're gonna be
follow this though,
charitable,
because like I didn't really think about it in like that like pedophilic or like evil context.
Sure.
I thought about it in the context of like fucking 400 years ago when there were just like 7 people in your village, and you're like, this lad has values.
Sure.
You should invest in this girl.
Sure.
She will
I
be
don't think
breed
they were
age.
doing that, honestly. Though I think he was saying like he
No
was
man, they were
honestly
very
just
Christian.
I think he was just saying like that
Sure.
you deserve a guy like this, but this one you're too young, like he's too old for you. Like you're not gonna get this one. But like I think he was saying like,
Speaking
hey,
of his barely legal daughter, how about that whole scene where she runs away and we have to watch the kid cry?
Yeah, well, she
have to
ran
watch the
away
who?
for like 16 hours. And there's
she
scenes
went to
No,
a
she
of
party
wasn't gone
Selfie
for
Dad
16 hours.
throwing his phone and screaming.
No, she
and
wasn't
the whole
gone for
family
16
falls
hours.
apart.
I don't understand how
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
gone
gone
for
just at
16
night.
hours. She was gone over the night. How was she gone for 16 hours?
Yeah.
She just was supposed to get back like in the morning, and she got back a little bit later because they woke up early, right? That's it.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
how was
because
she gone for
she
like
fell
she was
asleep.
barely gone.
She usually like sneak back in like at whatever 3 a.m. or some shit, but like she fell asleep there is what she said. And it's like
Which
Yeah,
is
that's not good,
played
I
as
guess.
though it is the
They called
absolute
her?
truth. We are supposed to believe that she is a good kid.
Do you
Like,
think
that's the way
are
the
you
movie
saying-
presents it.
Do you think her
but they
her
kept
fidelity
calling
is
her
called in
too
question?
and like
Did she
Wait.
fuck that loser?
Multiple people are talking.
I think she probably fucked that loser.
You
Yeah,
think she?
probably, but, like-
she says it so clearly. She's like, "I did not fuck that loser. That loser's a loser." But what else do you call somebody if you fuck them and like it goes south for what reason or whatever? Like you could say they're a loser.
Why are
because
you
of that.
gone all night? You know, like I don't know.
sure, whatever.
Well, she is
I
also
think
like
that-
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go and you don't like. You don't get piped.
Why didn't she pick up her phone? Why didn't she pick
She's
up her phone?
like
That's
now
all
that I
wanna
know she's 18 at least. Like she is a very banging child.
Like,
Don't say
they were calling her.
that.
Everyone was calling her multiple times. Her brother, her mom, her dad. They were like walking
It's
around
true.
having
It's
like
true.
other
Like,
parents
what are you
call her, and
doing?
she didn't pick
What are you
up the
doing if you're
phone
not
once.
staying up? Like, is she just like, oh, I'll just fall asleep on the floor?
Was she
Like,
dead?
I'm not.
Was she like just
Yeah.
like slogged out, just totally fucking like waking up in a puddle of puke? It was like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking answer my phone. Like, how was she just like this gone? Like, anyone else would answer the phone like, yeah, I get, but they needed drama. That's like all it was they needed drama.
Well, did she say
so
her
he
phone
could go.
died? Did she say her phone died?
Yeah, I
So I
think
thought
she
she
did.
said
But
her
it's
phone
like,
died.
but it's like none of her other friends, like, because that's what they said. Like, oh, we're calling like all her friends too. Like, he called
Yeah,
her
you
friends.
should
So
like call
like,
it. Well, it's called the Johnsonses. Like they should know. Like they
Yeah.
didn't. Like I don't know.
They didn't have a
they
relationship
just
with their
immediately
neighbors.
freaked out.
That does add to the case that she was getting piped. That does add to the case. But either way, so the interesting thing about that scene with the daughter is that scene with the daughter is actually the catalyst to like what kind of like makes this movie not necessarily, I guess you could say, go off the rails. But like before that, it's like it is basically fucking facing the crowd. It's like building up.
No.
He's becoming famous. You think that the arc is gonna be he's gonna get like so fucking famous that and so fucking full of himself that priest guy's gonna come over and be like, "I thought you were a humble man.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just
true.
a selfie."
No. I
But
think
that
this movie
that
went
scene
off the
never
rails,
happened. But the
like-
catalyst that happens with his daughter is what makes it so the third act isn't about him failing. It's about other than the fact that it like views it as a failing that he like talked to a lady that he wasn't married to with no intention of banging her.
I don't think they wanted to dip into like any degeneracy or like they just kind of wanted to say like, hey, he could have gotten bad, but he didn't. Like they didn't even want to get bad. I don't think because it was just
Yeah,
like,
and maybe that's some Christianness
Irritating.
seeping into it. Is they
Yeah.
want him to be a role model. Like they want him to have an arc, and he does have an arc where he becomes like a good Christian man or whatever by the end. But like he does go like at the beginning he's like a silly goofy guy, but by the end, even though he's still a silly goofy guy, now he's completely devoted to our Lord.
Yeah,
So
but-
okay.
it's not the Bible;
There's
it's
this-
the Word of God.
There's this one scene with the
It's
daughter. I
literally
don't
the
know
Word of God.
if you guys remember it, but it's that one scene like I was telling you guys before. With it's where after like he misses the grease play and she walks up to him and for no reason whatsoever it cuts to just a flat of her and she gives like this quick like 2 cents dialogue and then walks off.
Like
That weird
when
to
she's
you
in
guys?
her grease thing, when she's just like
Yeah, and he's like
okay,
laying on the
whatever.
couch and she like walks over and it's like it's doing the usual like pan where everyone's in the shot or the angle and then for no reason it just like cuts to like up of her and it's just her alone with like the blank
Yeah,
fucking like house behind her.
'Cause
Was that
she's
weird to
looking-
you guys?
Because she's looking for her dad, right?
No, she's looking like she's looking down at him, but it's like it's just a flat. It's like her to say like, "You really let me down, Dad," or something like that,
'Cause
and then she
he
walks
wasn't there.
away.
Well, he wasn't there, right?
Yeah, he didn't go to the grease
Yeah,
play,
he
but
wasn't there.
Yeah. So
but he
that's
was because he was at home, and but it cuts to her, and it's just her. It's so weird because they never do that at any other point. Have that angle or like that flat.
I
It's-
think
it's
I know
so
what you're
fucking-
talking about.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't think I do, honestly. Like I think what you're saying, like it was poorly done filmmaking, but it was just like them trying to say like, oh, she's
It was
sad.
just jarring.
He's not, but he wasn't at the play, right? She's sad. He's not at the play.
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, no, exactly. He was supposed to be at the play.
No, it wasn't her at the play though, Cats. It was them at home.
yeah,
she's
no,
at
and she's in
home.
the grease uniform or not uniform, but like
Oh.
the costume.
Oh.
And she's
We
like,
never see
"Hey,
the
you
play.
should have been there, you fucking bitch."
I
We
see.
never see the play, you silly goose.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get
no,
it.
they
Did
don't.
you not, like,
They don't
notice
show the
that?
play, which actually was kind of disappointing because, like, I
For
don't
some
know, like,
reason, I
I
honestly
feel like there's
remember them
always that
showing the
shot
play.
in every movie where the fucking father or whoever misses the play, where you see like 2 seconds of the play and you see them on stage smiling,
That's
and then they look
true.
at the chair, and then they
Man.
look sad, and then
I think
and then
that was
and then
honestly,
if
like,
you want, you can have the
stitching other
later
movies
scene
into this.
where they just leave the fucking stage and they're all dressed up and excited. And she's like, "Where's Dad?"
I
And
wish
he couldn't
Selfie
come
Dad
to
got
me.
into the same shenanigans that like Adam Sandler did in Uncut Gems, and he leaves like his daughter's
Exactly,
theater play,
fucking exactly.
and
That
like
I
they
100%.
strip
That
him
was
out
just
of
what I
his
was thinking.
clothes and they throw him in the hood of his car, and his wife has to leave the play to like go unlock him out of the car. Like this movie just
That's what I'm
didn't
saying,
fucking have the
like,
balls to do anything.
That would
the
have
whole
fit in the
movie
Selfie Dad
is
fucking plotline, TBH. That would have
just
perfectly
so
fit with the kind of hijinks he gets into.
It's true.
the whole
It's
movie
very
is
real.
so eerily incompetent in all regards. Like it just doesn't understand how like most general things work or like how people would
Except
react to
for how it
things.
understands that black magic technology is superior technology. Even though people say that it is just easy to understand, introductory bullshit. They are wrong. Black magic.
But it's all about it's
good
just
technology.
all it does is like say like the power of Christ is good. You got is there anything else to fucking say about the movie? I feel like we've dissected
Dude,
this.
I feel like
pretty-
there's
pretty-
way more to say about this movie that we haven't even
Really?
Well, can I just say, like I feel like it's tradition at this point. Can I just read my notes?
Sure, yeah,
go
no,
for
read
it.
your notes.
These are my
Read your
notes.
notes.
These are all the
The
notes
start of
that
a
I
tradition.
wrote for Selfie Dad.
The first annual.
Bad YouTube stand-up. Stars. Horrible church footage. Bad argument comedy. Or bad argument and comedy. What is this acting ? A. You sit to pee ? Haha, black licorice. Abbreviation joke isn't new. Guy is racist, TBH. Church Christians are annoying. YouTube families are cancer. Haha, dad boomer. This is actually accurate to church Christians and YouTube families. Hannah goes missing all of a sudden. Appears indoors. Hannah! Something bigger than stealing. God's grace giving him an iPod. Jesus died for that. Oh, okay, yeah. So that like little anecdote that pastor guy or soon to be pastor guy gives, that doesn't make any fucking sense. He goes and steals from a store, and his dad, instead of punishing him and doing anything, gives him an iPod, and he gives that as an example of what you're supposed to think about when like you're making decisions. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
It was like he got me an ice cream and then he took me back to the Walmart and he got me a fucking like iPad and an iPod. And I asked him why,
he said he felt like the moral was that he felt like the yuckiest boy after he got the iPad. So like
it's like it's like you have everything you want, but do you feel good? And he's like, that's right. No, like it's not what we have, it's who we have. And it's like, yay.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I don't know. That's not what I would
message
fucking
of
do.
that proverb. If you take the message of that proverb to be, we should just get, you stole that? Here's an iPad. Think about that.
That pastor's such a little queer boy. What a fucking little bitch.
I'm just saying, like that wouldn't be like a good little thing. But if you take away the whole like
you guys went to more church that like way more church that shit than I did. Is that what Christianity is all about? Like just do bullshit like that?
Yeah, I was
like
I
what?
Was pretty
like
not paying attention.
Steelers iPads?
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that at all.
didn't know that was out of left field. But like also like we went to Catholics, which is the real shit, not like them other like fucking knockoff fucking great value Christians.
So is this like the progs or the prots or whatever, like the Protestants, like the turn the other cheek Christians or whatever? Like, is that what they are?
I guess, well, I mean, turn the other cheek is actually mad based because like turning your other cheek isn't about like ignoring shit. It's about fucking showing that no matter how much abuse you can give me, authority figure, I will fucking not shut the fuck up. So you're gonna have to kill me, which is actually pretty. That's I don't know. It's a little bit of a jumpy boy, but turning our cheek is actually
based to just kill them first, though, right? I mean,
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I like cheek. I forget who explained that to me, but whoever did, I was like, oh, okay, Jesus was actually a bad motherfucker.
You explained it poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what? At the end, he just does like the whole Christian Bible thing, and that's it.
Yeah, the big third act thing is that he starts like preaching the Bible directly on his YouTube channel that was not religious at all before. And then everybody else in his life and the commenters are like, we're cutting our advertising, we're cutting everything because you're being all religious right now.
Yeah, I would unsubscribe too. It's like, make a separate channel, you stupid idiot, you stupid
Seriously,
fucking moron.
I subscribe for the comedy. I don't want the religion. That is a valid,
Yeah, exactly.
thing.
Like, I'm totally fine if in the beginning you say like, "How's it going? God bless," or whatever. Like, you can say little religious things, but if your show becomes about religion, it's going to be a less interesting show. Which is actually something that the movie Selfie Dad seems to agree with, because even they bring in the self-insert fucking OC of fucking pastor boy to say, "Oh, yo, you should." Even that was probably a little too far, bro. Probably a little too far.
I think they may. Don't they even say like make a separate channel?
No, I think they just say
no.
Like,
I don't think he says make a separate channel, but I think he says like focus on doing this and then just like be this. I think.
Okay.
No, it's no. Okay, so what he says is like the internet doesn't like Christianity, but maybe this is like a test, because you couldn't like get it away right off, and like now you have to wait. So maybe it's God saying, "You ready to go all in?" And then he does, and he loses his. It's so odd. Because it's like, why don't you just make a second? That's the thing. Like, that's why I keep saying no one in this fucking movie gets how anything works. There's no like alternative path. It's all just like bullheading straight fucking ahead into
this movie.
Brandon,
you got to give it credit though. You got to give it credit.
I don't.
It so could have gone the path if he starts talking about God and everyone doubts him, and then they're like, You've gotten to 1 billion subscribers. People actually love Christ. They could have done that, and I felt like they were going that way, but they actually did go more realistic. Like, but the other thing I was thinking about though is because the plot line is like, okay, just don't be overtly Christian or whatever, just like kind of like shoehorn later or whatever. Like if this guy wasn't Christian and he was actually like a fucking like I don't know like a radical moose or like a fucking or like a Nazi or like a fucking something like that, that is also great strategy. Is just like don't immediately start out like with like fucking Good Mythical Morning, like here's how we'll fix a shoe or whatever the fuck, and then you start like slowly saying like, man, this shoe was made by what kind of people? Like this is a shitty shoe.
Christian stuff's not going to get you banned from YouTube, probably though. I mean,
I don't know. Is that the case? Unless you're talking like March for Life.
Unless you're like Westboro Baptist Church Christian.
No, it doesn't even have to be Westboro Baptist. You just have to say
abortion's
a bad boy or something like that.
Do they still have a YouTube?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Based.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could just state whatever.
No, I think Westboro Baptist.
That's not
I don't
true.
think YouTube cares until like people
I don't
like
have
report
a lot
it.
of my YouTube channels that I used to have. I mean,
well, most people just delete stuff that's older too because like they can't keep because it's like it's always just gonna get flagged. But for the most part, like people just go into like the weird shit in YouTube. It's just like, oh yeah, they'll let anything on here. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, I mean, at this
point, to a certain extent, unless you say certain things about it's getting worse and worse, man. Like
you can see a fucking
YouTube
donkey
has
get exploded by a
algorithms that
train.
can hear certain words and see certain images. Like you have to like encrypt. Like
donkey gets hit by a train, Dubai.
What is that?
Is that gonna get us? Is that gonna get us banned? Did you just say the secret code, Susan Wojcicki?
I swear to God. It's just you could like go onto YouTube right now and just watch animals that getting exploded by trains. Like
but if I start talking about like myocarditis a lot, or certain things.
Yeah, I guess if our thousands upon thousands of subscribers report it as harassment or something, maybe.
No. I'm saying like if I literally just start talking.
No. But Brant, if you're streaming and if you're streaming like copyrighted material, if you're streaming like material that is known to be like if we were to try to stream the Christchurch shooting right now, we'd get fucking flagged immediately, and our stream would get taken down because that shit is just that's known
media.
to algorithms.
That's putting up media. That's like just actually gonna get found by the algorithm.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, but that technology has gotten a lot better now to where they recognize words even.
And just like from how it's gotten in the past couple of years, give it 5 more years, like we're probably gonna be fucking taken out just for the certain things that the hairdresser was saying earlier.
Yeah, you could have hit that one better. Jesus Christ.
No, I liked it.
It's like you're
Well,
trying to
no,
fucking
said by
hammer
a
your
different
thumb.
character. We were reading Huck Finn, goddammit.
Yeah, well,
hey, by the way,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
wanted to mention this. I don't know if it works as well on the podcast, but I just thought it was funny that the Daily Wire was doing like their third book club with Ben Shapiro thing, and they're reading Huck Finn, and I was just like thinking, like, man, there's so many white people saying the N-word a lot right now, and all of them feel like totally justified. And I mean, like, I'm not saying they're not, but I just thought it was funny. They were just like sitting around being like, "There's nothing racist."
How do you know
about
what the Daily Wire's up to? You check in the Daily.
Yeah, because I
fucking-
I imbibe their content. God damn it! I think they make
he's
quality
Shapiro,
content.
He's a Shapiro cuck.
Yeah, an actual fucking show.
Actual
Jesus
fucking
Christ. The only
Shapiro
thing.
show.
The only good thing about Ben Shapiro is his sister's humongous tits.
And they've only gotten bigger. It's fucking crazy. Like, her tits are just truly fucking like something else. Like, it's amazing.
They're bigger than her stomach. It's crazy.
They're bigger.
Like her
they're like
pregnant
a
stomach.
size and a half or more bigger than her head. Like, it's
Oh, are you talking about you're talking about classically Abby's classical skills, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we're talking about her just her
about how her opinions are so great, right?
Her basic
It's like she's not like milking or anything. It's like she's not using
she's not milking any ideas.
I don't
that's
know
a very
what's
good
going
theological point. Very good
Why are
theoretical.
they so big? They doubled in size. Like, they were already big before, but now they're just like
her idea is like, I know what you mean. Like, she's on like a
the picture of her at like the
like
birthday shower or baby shower or whatever, and it's like those two women like next to her. It's like just actually dwarfed. It's insane.
No,
like she's actually spilling into them.
They were mogged. They were actually mogged by like her chest, like
destroyed. Like her tits are on their shoulders, and like their heads just look like baby heads.
Yeah, it was like it felt like a humiliation ritual for them to post that picture. Actually, it was just kind of like, oh, why would you even do that?
She's like, this is how we get subscribers, honey. This is how we get the goyim's money. And she just like sloshes them.
Well, see, honestly, that's like the thing about having big old honkers, though, is like, it's not even like you don't have to be told that. You just like walk around and you fucking like blast through a door and you just like, okay, these are useful.
She's like fucking 22 or something too, isn't she? She's like super young.
No, I think she's older than that.
She's probably older than that, but yeah, she's
no,
probably young.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm checking my watch. It doesn't have classically Abby's age on it.
Like, Ben Shapiro might not even be 40, or he's barely 40, right? So
he is 38, 39, something like that. I looked it up for some reason recently. I don't remember why.
So I would believe that Abby Shapiro would probably be in her 20s still.
She's 21.
Right now, as we speak.
She's 21, yeah.
That's not his only sister, is it? Like, that's a much younger sister.
He's got another one, Millie Shapiro.
Oh, what does she look like?
How many D's?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
I mean,
that's the girl from fucking Heritage.
What are those Khazar milkers looking like over there? I want the Khazar status.
Share screen. Can you just replace yourself in the
I wish you could.
Table
with
with
improve,
just mommy milkers.
Our streams
I'm not using my.
Oh, dude, we should look into what are those things called where you can just like fucking VR yourself into like a fucking like a cat person or whatever.
No,
you know what I mean?
We're never gonna do that. Don't do that.
What are those called?
We're not doing
What's that called?
thing.
It's a VTuber.
VTuber.
We're never gonna do that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of cringe, honestly. Is it cringe to say cringe? I feel
like okay, I will say I somehow stumbled across a VTuber live stream where they were going over people's places for rent that had the 360 view of the inside of their house. And so it was just traveling through weird places that were for rent, and it was the 360 view going through everything. And that
actually sounds like a very weirdly interesting stream.
It was, and it was just kind of like the whole stream was just like stalking weird people's like apartments that like were up for rent, and it was just like you could see the mold. You could like go underneath like the sinks even a little bit. It was very strange. Like, I didn't realize that you could actually like get into people's space that much, and they fucking did it themselves. So
like currently lived in apartments.
Yes, yeah. I'll link the
that's actually interesting. I thought you were talking about like places for like that were entirely empty for
I'll
rent.
link the stream to you. I'll link the stream. It's very bizarre, but you have to put up with this VTuber who has like this retarded like little girl's voice, and she's just going like, "Huh, that's pretty fucking weird, chat."
I don't think I'd put up with that, honestly.
What the fuck is
I think
that,
it's an interesting. Hey, here, fucking pull it up now. Let's just do that now. Let's just replace her and put our masculine, normal voices on top of it, and then let's make way more success than her.
You guys would have
You're
to.
retarded.
No.
How am I retarded, Brant? How am I
You're like
retarded?
actually retarded.
How
Anyway,
am I
so
retarded? How am I
Selfie Dad,
retarded?
Who are you calling?
every
retarded?
idea you say is just the same thing I would hear from a fucking third grader who only plays Fortnite. Man, we're gonna get super famous with review tubers. Man, if we just steal other people's content, we'll make way more money than them. You're fucking so stupid. Anyway, Selfie
I feel
Dad.
like that's a little bit broad to say every idea that I bring to the table is something a third grade Fortnite.
Any idea you think is trendy is usually pretty retarded.
Yeah, but that's because trendy things are retarded.
Yeah.
You should be retarded.
Any rebuttals?
No, yeah, but you're the one
There
that
you
brings
go.
it to light.
I mean,
You're welcome.
Maybe
I
they
got
just
it.
sound
It's
especially
probably
stupid out of your mouth.
but that. So
What?
like just I mean we could probably like just fucking like film ourselves eating pig shit and then like get some views then by that status.
Yeah, at that
Well,
point,
yeah,
exactly.
but then you only get views for the pig shit video, you know, unless you start like shoe nice in it every episode.
Exactly. So it's like I mean you got to find like an equilibrium of
Guys,
of
if we
retarded.
fucking light M80s in our hands and fucking explode them, we'll get so many views.
I still think
yeah.
that the Darman ripoff idea was a good idea. Like, I still think that the fact that there are these fucking videos on YouTube that get billions of views that are just people like doing fucking basically Selfie Dad, worse than Selfie Dad level fucking just like message ridden bullshit. Like the fact that that exists out there, doing that on like a level of like parody, like an Onion kind of level parody where it isn't obviously a parody immediately.
Oh, that just requires a ton of production. Then that's the problem.
No, dude, because
all
their
those
production was
soulless
shit.
videos.
We can do that because we know what we're doing. We can
Well-
do that level of production with like
Nothing.
effort, but like not so much effort.
YouTube
Selfie
essentially
Dad
is just like
actually
its own
could've-
little
This
Hollywood
movie
now.
could have been done in a good way, actually. Like when you talk about
I really
like,
think it could have.
when you say facing the crowd, like actually if he had started to really get crazy and they had kind of like done a 180 and like gotten like
you think you could have made a better Selfie Dad? Is that what you're saying, Cass? Is you think you could have made a better
Honestly,
Selfie Dad?
You know,
what-
I think
you know
I
what
could have
would've
made
been
a
cool,
better
Brant?
Selfie Bad Dad too.
Brant, hear me out. Okay, we do a recut of Selfie Dad. We get the same actor. We have an
attempted suicide scene with the daughter.
We have a
I will
complete
not
break
budge
in
on
the
that.
film. We have a complete break in the film where
Brand, is it going to be a scene where she can't open the bottle of pills?
She
Potentially?
can't.
Yeah.
No, she can't even like open the razor blade. She's just like, I can't get it out.
oh sure, and then Selfie Dad has to enter hell to get his daughter's soul back. He has to like save her and grab her by her fucking hair and like drag her by her scalp out of hell through like razor blades, and then just like go through this like hell's butthole and get fucking shit out, and then he gets like
He's like
shit
we're
out
on
of
like
the earth.
real Dante's Inferno.
But wait.
like, we're going like all the way through like the fucking forest of suicides and
Yes.
the lake of like
Yes.
violence of boiling blood and people like walking in a conga line getting fucking severed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So wait,
I'm down.
Cats, though, I
Exactly.
got a question, though. So, like, 50% of the title, you've got the dad angle very well right there, but the selfie angle is missing. So, like,
Yeah.
is him going into hell, him kicking and refusing the selfie habit, or is he like live streaming it through the 7 rings?
He should
Here's
be
how
fucking
you.
live
Here's,
streaming.
that would be great. Actually,
He should be
Aslan.
fucking that would
Here's
be great.
how you open a hell gate.
Yeah.
He's just like fucks it up so bad it breaks open, it just falls over. He's like, oh, guess that works.
Yeah. No, that
Stream
would be
cuts
that.
out. He's
Here's
gotta go
how
back
you
up
sneak
range.
by a Cerberus. And he like throws a fucking rocket and immediately just like locks in on him and starts chasing him down. And it's just him running. Oh, 10 out.
Yeah.
You have me completely.
So
This is an amazing idea, in all honesty.
Face
I
in the
think we
Crowd.
need more representation of hell in Christian media.
He still redeems himself, though, I'm guessing. He gets his way out of hell, and he saves his daughter.
Through the power of selfies or without selfies? See, that's what I'm asking. Is morally, where do selfies come into the plot?
The movie either. He has to make a video. He's live streaming himself saving his daughter, and that is his most viewed live stream ever. Maybe.
He'll get to a point where, like, he has to overcome pride, and that's, like, when he's like, you're right, I don't need the audience, and he'll throw away the phone or the camera or whatever. But then, like, later, like, when they get back up to the surface, like, the daughter's like, hey, y'all, we're back. And it's just like, oh.
And then the other family, like, jump in the frame, and they're like, ah. And then they go, we will.
Then hell splits back open, and skeletons start dragging them down.
Yeah. And then
it just, like, says, like, TikTok is evil. Then it ends.
Well, no, they don't say it now, because they like.
Are the skeletons all, like, from Vine?
And they use bones as their currency.
Because Vine got replaced by TikTok. I thought it was fine.
Oh.
More third grade Fortnite ideas for you, Brant.
That was just a joke that didn't land super great. That's all.
Yeah, I think it would have played better amongst, like, if we were real YouTubers and we, like, had been around and, like, knew. If
we were real VTubers. I mean, I just don't really remember Vine super well, to be honest.
I just remember it existing. It was just, like, fucking. If you were a
'90s
kid, if you were a 2010s kid,
we should have started this channel when we first started the Bad Circle name. We would have gotten, like, at least 2 or 3 years, like, advance on things. Who knows? We could have had 50 more subscribers.
Yeah, I know, right? We'd be way ahead of the curve.
We'd be someone.
We'd be somebody.
Yeah. We could be like a big name.
There's no time better to start a task than the present.
Except for the past, Brand.
Oh, yeah. Remember that one scene where, like, Selfie Dad's talking to a cop, and because he's black, he feels like it's okay for him to not act like this man has a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they dropped that real quick, which actually I thought that was one of the points where I was like maybe there was, like, a potential for okay jokes throughout this movie. Like, if they either just leaned into the fact that it's a comedy, maybe, and just dropped some of the, like, because I want to, like, bring it back, and I know, like, I'm sorry to bring it back a little bit, but there's that scene where his wife is mad at him because he's fucking filming shit all the time or whatever, and she's just so mad, and he ends the scene with saying, like, well, those aren't good hydrangeas or whatever, because he learned that from fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Which was a funny line, but it was such a terrible line, because, like, why would you say that? Your wife is obviously mad at you, dude. Like, just fucking...
Yeah, like, it's weird watching him dig all these holes.
Again.
Yeah, no, the comedy, it doesn't have any kind of, like, timing to anything. It's just kind of, like, jokes.
Yeah, just, hey, this would be a funny line. Put it in. It's Judd Apatow bullshit. Like, that was the worst parts of this movie are where it, like, really feels like they were just like, go for it, Ben Marcus. Use your great 80s fucking Arsenio Hall cringe.
Yeah, because the joke that he starts out with at the very beginning, like it's not like super edgy, but it's kind of it's like you know, it's a little
it's a subtle joke. It's
like I'm being an edgy comedian kind of thing. So
yeah, sure.
He's like, a black man jogging.
Yeah.
Now, a white woman in front of me was scared because of a black man jogging behind her, and then he's like, "Is that as fast as you can run?" And I was like, "Damn, that's solid. That's pretty funny."
It's not. Yeah, it's not a bad joke. It's actually it's not bad. So like it starts out with
milk toast racial jokes.
The setup's pretty shit, but like the payoff's okay. I like the joke itself. I don't like how he tells it.
Yeah.
You can tell that joke better 1,000 ways. But yet again, though, it doesn't show him really being fucking funny, except for, like, in there's this one chick, Posey, like, that part, and, like, him doing, like, his
is that the chick
bit.
he was supposed to bang? It was basically that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's supposed to
That's when he's staring right at the Rosie's Roses poster, and like, there's this mean fucking ugly bitch, her name's Posey, and, like, him doing, like, the comedy in that bit. Only time you see it other than him just breaking shit, which is a comedy. It's just him breaking shit.
Wait, which one?
This movie sucks.
I don't remember the Posey one.
Do you want me to give you my idea, or you want to talk more about Katz's idea?
Rosie's Roses. That's what he's like talking. Like there's this mean old. It's what he's doing like the
Oh,
thing
his
in his
boss,
office.
the boss lady.
And he looks right at Posey. And he looks
Yeah,
right at
it's the
Rosie
lady
Roses,
on
the
the
poster. He says, Posey.
That lady fucking sucked. Yeah. Well, I guess she was supposed to
Dude.
suck though.
She could have been funny. She was committed. Yeah. She was just committed to like very low amounts of character
Her
motivation.
payoff was terrible because then she's like, "All right, well, give me a hug because I don't like. I still like black people or something like that." Like,
yeah, no, it was just fucking payoff. Yeah. So the racial jokes were just so like shoehorned in.
I like black licorice.
Very weird. Yeah. I don't know.
Right. I saw Black Licorice is a fucking great example of what this movie is.
Yeah, well, so Dwayne, are you gonna go with the face in the crowd, the selfie in the crowd?
So yeah, kinda. So essentially, my idea on this fucker was basically just fucking, of course, especially fuck the ending. Like we can't end it with just like a bunch of fucking pictures of how like Selfie Dad made God.
I'm in.
We're in.
But
yeah, fuck.
So here's the idea I had. So the second that Selfie Dad discovers YouTube, the whole movie is just shot from the perspective of the YouTube videos. So we actually see how the YouTube videos are taking over all of his life. And we see how it comes into all these like other aspects of his life. And it just literally, like, his wife's trying to have a conversation with him, but we see that he's so obsessed by the YouTube videos. By every next scene, it's like, oh, well, how do I fix a broken marriage? Or what, like, just he's trying to like fucking do all this bullshit. But then there are certain scenes where his family actually is able to fucking break him down to reality. And those are the only times that we actually go back to the real fucking quote unquote cinematography of Selfie Dad. And that's basically the idea. It would make it so the entire like hesitation of his family fucking made more sense, and it would grow to the fact that the selfie, like, he basically gets entirely eaten by the videos, and his entire life is videos until he finally just smashes the camera, and then we finally find him after like an hour straight of nothing but videos, after the moment where he breaks finally with his family and throws them to the side so he can focus on his videos. Then we finally fucking leave that. Also, during the montages earlier where he was actually supposed to be editing, I really don't like that, like, there was no effort put into the filmmaking of him being an editor. Like, show him fucking with shit, show him like him watching a take over and over again, driving him crazy.
It was always
shit like that.
Like,
it's basically just
first.
Keep a similar plot, drop the religious shit, and just do this sort of like focus on the idea of being eaten by your perception on the internet, and that drawing you away from God more as a metaphor than as a constant browbeating bullshit. That's the idea.
My only stipulation for this was whoever just essentially made Selfie Dad but in a different religion was going to win this one, but both of you actually came here with unique ideas, so that's interesting, Dwayne. There's actually a similar style of video. I think it's called Ryan's Life. It's the same guy who made he does some of the infomercials. It's like Live As You Are Now Forever. Uncut Footage Bear, Live As You Are Now Forever, and This House Has People in It. He also does he did something like that too, which is really interesting. Yeah, Ryan's Life or something like that. It's about like a kid who makes like YouTube, and then you watch like as he gets kidnapped and like forced to make videos and stuff. It's very interesting. So I guess the only problem is how do you keep
similar vein,
a structured
narrative. It just has all this family drama within and I want to put more effort into the YouTuber end of it. So like he's just got it's basically you ever see like those what are they called? But like lifestyle YouTubers or whatever, where they like bring all their kids into it and they like they're streaming it constantly and destroying their entire fucking world or whatever. They do something kind of like that, but the family's never on board. The family always is just like, "What are you doing? Why are you making a joke out of all of this?" Like the son tries to get involved, but yeah.
There's like certain parts where he forgets to edit things because he's trying to make so many videos that you hear snippets of him fighting with his wife in the background or whatever. And that's how you start showing the degradation is as his videos get worse and less edited well or whatever, and they're just more sloppy. That could be something.
Who Rings of Redemption is?
Yeah, I know who Rings is.
Yeah. So there was one video of him where he was trying to stream Dark Souls, and his wife was just in the background crying the whole time, and that. We want some of that.
Keemstar one, Brant.
Yeah, with when his PlayStation Network got hacked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it.
That,
I
that was
haven't
one of the
watched
prime
it yet,
examples.
but yeah.
That was
I
pretty
heard about
recent. That was pretty funny. They like the guys like made him and his wife weigh themselves, and like he,
it.
and Keemstar's just like, why don't you just like monetize on this? Like, how are you like this bad? And he's like, oh, what? What do you mean? Like, how do I monetize?
Well, actually, yeah, no, it's
Really?
That's,
Yeah, well,
It was
that's
interesting.
a whole different thing. Yeah.
What? Yeah, I like your idea, Dwayne. Not to like just discredit yours, cats.
I came up with it at the last minute, honestly. So.
I came up with mine as I was watching Selfie Dad the first time.
Yeah, like the only ideas I ever had for this is like, what would this be like if it was like a Muslim movie, or like what would this be like if it was a Jewish? And then honestly, like, what else would you do? I think you could do something interesting, but it really is just like this story of a man trying to reclaim his identity in the midst of his family and having a midlife crisis.
And man,
But then it just
that was
gets
why I
shoehorned
had
so
my
much
idea while I was
Jesus.
watching it the first time, Brant, was because like I genuinely, at least for me, I think this movie could have been something somewhat interesting, but it just got so corny so fast. And
Yeah,
it
it
just,
couldn't
like,
be
had
anything
so many
interesting 'cause
issues in
it's
it.
Jesus. It's got to be safe. It's got to be bland.
Yeah,
for
man, I'm
grandma.
not against, like, I just want to put it on record that I am not against putting Jesus in movies. I'm not against making religious movies. But fucking, if you're just gonna like browbeat it, then you're not gonna convince anybody. You're just gonna sell bullshit to people who are all.
This is not a pro religion podcast. Actually, we are
It's pretty
religious
fucking
neutral.
radical.
But I do think at least we're a pro freedom of expression podcast.
Sure, we
Yes.
just on this podcast recognize the fact that Satanists have invaded the Vatican and have been in there for some time.
I'm actually
there are
I'm
a lot of
pro freedom of
pedophiles, and
expression
that's
only
why.
for
See,
myself.
that's why I think this movie's okay though, because if they were pedophiles, they wouldn't have cast such a hot 18-year-old as the daughter.
God, she's so. Yeah. Final thoughts? Would you guys rate the? What would you? Yeah, just like I think it's
18 out of 10. God damn it!
It's
Ooh, I hated it. I hated it, and I
Four-
watched it twice.
4 out of 10.
I would
watched
give it
it
a
so
solid.
much.
I'd give it a solid, probably 4 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
'Cause
4
certain
out of
points
10.
See,
were
I told you
alright.
guys, it doesn't help if I watch the movie first. I like bad movies, and that's what we could present always.
No,
Did
it's
you
so
watch
this
amazing, Grant,
first?
that we did it this way because I'm currently watching that ending scene that made me hate this movie. So I'm changing my 4 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10 as we speak.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's
Fuck
fair.
it.
Better
Okay,
end
yeah,
it quick.
that's
It's
fair.
getting close to a 2.5.
Dwayne,
Never mind. Can I
what's-
change it to a 3 out of 10? Actually, I'm just
2.5 out of 10.
because like I'm just thinking about
See
that
what you
ending.
did, creators of Selfie Dad.
No, seriously,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
ending.
And that fucking shot, the
It's the
random
last
fucking
thing that it ends on.
bullshit shot of the
It's
lady with the snow, fucking all this fucking B-roll ass
It's just
shit.
stock footage shit, and it's just like people in all different continents going like, "I'm in, I'm in."
Has nothing to do with our main characters. I hate it.
It's
fucking
terrible. It's
destroy
fucking
it.
awful. Yeah.
2 out of 10.
It's such a like the youth pastor or someone was like, we gotta like add, like how it's going viral. This is how they do. People reply to the video. Kirk Cameron can suck my nuts. Dwayne, I think it's your turn.
It is my turn. Give me a moment to think about it because I actually do not, off the top of my head, have a
You
movie.
fucker.
You fucking son of a
You
bitch.
fucker.
You had
I'm
so
sorry,
long
guys.
to think about shit.
You were too busy fucking watching Selfie Dads, nothing but different movie you wanted to fucking
I told
watch.
you, dude, I have no room for any other films. I have some hard thoughts on Selfie Dad.
Do some reading. Expand your fucking like memory banks.
Dude, I
Goodness.
expand my brain by fucking listening to Humpty Dumpty Tribe on YouTube. Subscribe.
You know what I
everybody.
saw? Well, you know what I saw lately. Just while
What'd you see?
Dwayne's thinking, I saw the premiere of the Ted Kaczynski movie that was shot
how
like
was that?
on his own property. I guess it was shot. in Lincoln,
Yo,
Montana.
I heard like that one was actually like, yeah, no, there's a lot of like Montana folk that worked on that.
Yeah.
I think I actually might be Facebook friends with the guy who played the dude. I'm not even sure. Like, I've got like a weird
The
connection.
guy
I
that
can't
played
remember. Was it good?
The guy that
Was it
played
good?
Ted Kaczynski is the guy that was also in District 9.
I haven't
So-
seen it.
The old guy
Okay,
from
so I'm
District
probably
9.
wrong. So was it good? Was it good?
Yeah, Actually, thumbs up. It was I liked it. Like it definitely did not need to. It should have been an hour and a half, not 2 hours. It was a little bloated, but like, it was it was really nice to see like Montana looking like just presented in a way that felt like actually like Montana, and
Michael Jr. is an actual comedian.
oh,
Selfie
Maybe
he's
Dad.
an actual comedian.
Yeah, he's an actual comedian.
That's
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
that's
He has
fine.
his
That's
own
fine. That's actually even better. He's terrible.
Laughing on Purpose is his special.
Well, that would
with comedian
explain. Like,
Michael
he
Jr.
probably is best when he's telling edgy jokes. He should not be doing like this kind of like milquetoast Christian comedy because.
Oh, is he like a Bob Saget type where he's just like doing like fucking nothing but rape jokes outside of Selfie Dad?
Is that what Bob Saget did?
Yeah, Bob Saget, like his outside of Selfie Dad stuff, like his actual stand up and stuff, like he was never the funniest guy, and he's actually like the only reason I don't say anything that bad about him is because like everybody says he's the nicest guy or whatever. But like his fucking comedy was just like straight up, just like fucking say something offensive, people will laugh. Say something offensive, people will laugh.
Well, I mean, that was kind of like my first comedian that I saw that was like Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget. Yeah, fine, whatever.
Red
I thought you were
Fox.
talking about Michael Jr., who's
Red Fox was the first
Christ
one that I was like,
comedy.
Who is one of the greatest comedians of our time, honestly.
Who?
Up there with Joey Coco Diaz.
Who?
I fucking love Joey Coco Diaz.
Have you been listening to a lot of? You've been mentioning him a lot lately, Brad. Have you been listening to a lot of Joey Diaz? Wait, dude, there's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, there's a post-credit scene. You guys didn't know that? Yeah, no, I haven't listened to Elijah. I just like Joey Coco Diaz. He's got such a great voice, a great way about life. It's like fucking funny. It's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. What's the post-credit scene?
I was fucking. I had like my fucking two fingers.
Joe Rogan.
Dwayne, stay in that pose. That was great. Stay in that pose.
So have you fucking found the movie, Dwayne?
You should probably just end it because I don't have a movie off the top of my head. I need to think about it.
No,
I was thinking about
no. He has to choose one right now. You have to choose one right now. Come on.
I guess it doesn't matter too much.
All right, okay. Let's just. I don't know how you're gonna watch it, but let's do School of Rock then.
Oh fuck.
Fuck no.
There you go. You forced me to pick something. That's what I picked.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, Rat. I just wanted to push him, but.
Pick a
I got pushed and I made my pick. It's the pick now. We're doing it.
Pick a real movie.
No, I would love to hear remakes of School of Rock. That sounds fun.
I don't want to talk about School of Rock.
It's a good movie.
It's just a good movie.
Well,
there's nothing to talk about.
It's really tough. It's literally just a classical film at this point. Like you can't really touch it up too much without destroying what it is.
Like you could come up with such interesting remakes.
Aren't all the kids from that movie kind of like fuck ups now, except for like Miranda Cosgrove and maybe
actually, I think all the kids are like fucking just like professional. Like they actually have relatively normal lives. I'll look into that.
Pretty sure a couple of them have been arrested. One of them, the lead guitarist kid, got arrested for stealing a Fender from Guitar City.
That's just called being rock and roll, I think.
Okay.
Just put it out there.
So are we doing School of Rock? Or are you gonna let me take some time?
I'll go take your time then. Yeah, if you're just gonna like take your time to say Blade Runner 2049, that's fine. Whatever. we just kind of.
It's actually gonna be the Social Network.
It's gonna be the Social.
Dude, that would be interesting.
Fuck you.
Are you just saying like? Are you just like? Because literally, you've just like been rattling off some of my favorite movies. Or is this like a specific caricature that you're going off of here? That like
what do you say? Nobody. You're telling us to watch Nobody a lot, and you said like, "Oh, Nobody's so good."
Fight Club.
Did you guys watch Nobody?
What's Nobody?
I was watching
Bob Odenkirk. It's a good ass action movie. It's good. Good action movie.
Is it on streaming?
HBO.
Okay. It's a new movie.
Yeah, check it out.
It's a movie, not a show.
It's a movie. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk, real good. It's got a kitten in it.
See, I like movies. The shows are just too much.
I've been just trying to either fill the time with Aqua Teen Hunger Force or watch like weird movies, just unsettling things. I really think if you just give like The Night Eats the World like one more shot, just like a little bit past it. Let him go. Let him like start going insane a little bit.
I'll try to find time away. Like most of my content is mostly just watching schizophrenics like rant into their cell phones. So
yeah. I'm all about
good.
that.
I'll find some
I
time
away
fully
from
agree
that.
with you there, Cats.
Huh?
There's a lot of
I
points where
fully
like, you
agree
see
with you there. I
shadows.
love watching the schizoids.
Like it's gotten to be where it's like I'm only interested in the actual independent media. You know, that's all I
Man,
want.
Deadwing Dork just posted this fucking video that you might enjoy. I haven't watched it because I fucking watched the stream live.
Yeah.
So it isn't as
Well,
interesting to me. I
you're a
remember it, but it's
Deadwing
this
Dork.
chick.
You're a
It's this-
celebrity in Deadwing Dork. Your chat. You were read on video. Just so everyone knows.
Oh yeah, no, it was a straight up celeb. Yeah, no, I was right
Dwayne's
on
a
video.
celebrity.
But no, so he had this fucking video that he posted of this fucking lady who was like just this fucking like South Korean, I guess, like lady who's just ranting about how Trump's gonna save the world, and like her videos are always like fucking pointed by people dumping oatmeal all over her and like rubbing it in. And like they look like they're professionals, like
That
they're
sounds
at
familiar.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an interesting one. She's
Okay.
an interesting one. You'll have to check that out.
Well, that
Yeah.
sounds that sounds pretty good. Yeah, the one that I sent like one to Heck the other day that was pretty good also. There's like a lady in Colorado that does like inspirational videos, and she's just like standing there like doing yoga, but like
Oh, that's great.
her dog was like fucking around in the background. I can't remember what exactly, but I sent one the other day that was pretty good, and like she had to just like try to get her dog to stop fucking around. And,
It was just her like trying to do yoga. It's like get out of there.
yeah, I can't.
Stop
Yeah,
doing
it
that,
was something.
get out
It was something like that. It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty funny. And it's just
That's
like
high art,
it's only
man.
got like
That's high
400
art.
views, but it's just like she comes up in my feed. So
It's-
it's that
it's-
stuff where it comes up in your feed every once in a while.
Mhm.
It's stay
Oh,
subscribed.
well, I'll be honest, it's tough to remember. Everything's been pretty much just a fever dream for like a week straight. So
Yeah, no, the
Either
only
way.
reason I haven't watched any movies lately because I've just been fucking like I've actually been working, which is nice, and I've been fucking working on the color for Man and Woman, so that's cool. And it's looking really good. I'm very
What's
happy.
man and woman, Dwayne?
It's Adam and Eve. Oh, are we talking about are we still live? I figured you must have fucking cut it by now. We're talking about nothing.
No, I didn't cut it.
Oh,
No,
no,
we're waiting
it's
for you
it's
to
gonna be,
tell us.
it's the first officially produced
Plug your
Bad
film.
Circle short film.
Yeah, plug it. Come on, where can we?
Yeah,
where
no,
can we-
all
where
right,
can we
all
watch
right,
it?
fucking see, like, all right, two people that are listening, it's a comedy film about like what it would be like if Adam and Eve were like, like, yo, like, why are you pregnant and shit. Like that's basically the movie. It's funny.
Adam and Eve.
It's 7 minutes long. It's coming to a short film festival near you, or we'll just post it on YouTube, and immediately after I'll just like post a video of me just like fucking just jacking off and just fucking sucking on a gun barrel. Just, bah! That's what I'm looking forward to. So look forward to that's why you should subscribe to Bad Circle on YouTube.
If you're looking for another bad movie, Bingo Hell was really like it's a Blumhouse, and it feels like it.
I actually, Brant, I'll be
Bingo
straight
Hell?
up with you though. I think Selfie Dad was I hate the fact that you just like randomly pick things because you're gonna go back and forth between terrible choices and good choices. But I think Selfie Dad was a genuinely good choice.
It was
Okay.
a device. Like we were able to actually like draw out a discussion just because it was a divisive enough film. Like there was
And
enough
such
to
a
talk
And it
about.
was interesting. It was interesting. It didn't just suck. And it didn't like and it didn't suck in a boring way. It sucked in an interesting way.
It's true. Yeah, no, it didn't just suck. That would be the quote on the cover. Actually, the best thing you could say. It didn't just suck.
It's our highest praise. It didn't just suck.
Alright, that's a good time to cut it. That's the first time I've probably ever laughed in the history of this podcast.
Okay, well.